Hello, welcome to Dim in the Light. I'm just going to let this song play on for a wee bit longer because it's came along at the right time.
We're big some alcohol. Wasted abilities, inspiring non-entities. We're pizza and alcohol. Oh, but we're pizza and alcohol. Man, that's deep. Man, that's
Yeah, hi, welcome. Yeah, that song's by a pal of mine, Mark McGee. Actually, a lot of the stuff that I do, anything wise, is by him. He has kindly given me proper access to some of his stuff, and it's great because as someone who creates content, he's basically, just gifted me this music so I don't run into any problems with copyright. But this particular one he just sent along. And I'll go straight off the bat. Things ain't so good. Things. It's been a weird couple of days. Yeah, for new listeners, this is a podcast about mental health. I like to talk about being down without getting you down. That's the whole point of it. And I realised, that I kind of do these little Dim in the Light episodes after I felt down and not been in the best of places. And I think we're on episode 8 now, and this is the first time that I'm actually kind of in it. So, I'm not going to depress anyone. I'm not going to get everyone into where I am in my head. Right? That's not really going to happen. I don't want you to be there with me. I just want to talk shit out. Because I know that I'm not the only one that feels any of these thoughts. And it's always nice just to kind of talk them out, I don't know, think things have kind of changed. There's now talk of, lockdown being lifted and things going back to normal. And at the same time, the weather here has completely changed drastically. It's like, I don't know what fucking movie I can quote. Tomorrow Never Dies, to the end of tomorrow, or whatever the hell it is. Last week was literally minus 10 degrees here in Berlin, and everyone was walking on a frozen canal. And today is 19 degrees Celsius, and it's just it's a bit too much of a change. I think I think it's also because it's on the horizon. People start talking about it, don't they? As of this is recorded Thursday, it'll probably go out tomorrow, Friday. And people start talking about it on Monday, and they go, "Oh yeah, the weather's changing. The weather's going to be good," and you're like, "Oh Jesus!" What does that mean? I've just kind of started dealing with the anxieties of being alone and locked up and isolated. I now have to deal with anxieties of meeting people. So, I've tried to walk it off, man, but I can't seem to lift it. It's kind of been here since yesterday. That way where you can just really feel it coming. And there's really, from now, we all deal with getting down, and we all deal with a bit of depression from time to time. And it's never nice. But the one thing that you can take from it is just never to fight it. You know, get inside. You know, you see a bunch of stuff that kind of happens around you. I'm looking around my gaff right now, and it's a tip. It's a tip. Dishes are piling up. Washing hasn't been done for a while. I don't know about you, but my attire that is most numerous is for sure socks and pants. And they're all gone, man. They are all gone. I've been rocking Commando for a few days. I think I've got one wee pair of holy socks in there. T-shirts, forget it, man. They're long gone. So, dishes are piling up. Little bits of... you just kind of... You let your personal hygiene... Oh, same old shit, you know what I mean? But... I've also realised over the time that I don't mind talking about it, you know. I don't, because everyone deals with it. I'm hoping that this episode isn't really going to make you feel sorry for me. I didn't like that. I'm not really interested in that. Just talking it out. I think I've been surrounded by myself for too long. So like basically all of January and February, I just done loads of online content, and it was just me and myself writing, thinking about stuff. And if it wasn't that, it was me filming myself and then me editing myself. Now, I don't know if any of you film yourself or edit yourself, but it takes a long time to do, and it's very tedious and boring. And I think I've just been looking at myself and being with myself way too long. And I tried to go out. I tried to go out for a huge walk. Yesterday I was at the hospital. For those of you that don't know, I'm still doing this medical trial thing. It's nearly ending, man. It's nearly ending. I need to go tomorrow and then Friday, and then I'm done. And then I'm cashing in my checks. But I walked back from the hospital yesterday, right? Which is like a 10-kilometre walk. Took me like 4 hours. And I was zigzagging through all the streets of Berlin, seeing some landmarks, bakeries, you know, some churches, sat on a bench for a bit, wrote a little bit. But you know, man, it was kind of shite. I was like, what am I doing? I was just uninspired. Totally uninspired. I think I've just been in Berlin too long, man. You know, it doesn't matter where you are. You know, you usually dip out of it every couple of months, do you not? At least every year. At least every couple of years even. And I've just been in this city for a whole year, man, and I'm just like, nothing is actually really, nothing's tickling my fancy anymore. I tried to do the same again today, and I was in a real stinker today. I still am, just kind of try to talk. This has made me better. In fact, you know, just on a little note on that song, which is going to get played at the end of the episode, I was just sitting there fucking feeling sorry for myself, just staring at a wall. And then McGee texted me and he said, "Here, man, I found this song. Don't know if you like it. Don't know if you want it. It's me singing." He usually doesn't like send me stuff with him singing. He doesn't like it so much. He doesn't think it's good. He thinks the instrumental stuff is suited, which is fair enough. And he just sent it and I played it. And it got me up to do this. So that's cool. And yeah, where was I going? What was I talking about? Yeah, you need to get out and about and do stuff. So it's the end of the hospital thing. And I tell you something, I know this is going to sound terrible, right? I know it's going to sound really, really bad. But I think it's a lovely time outside. Everyone's outside, right? It's like Corona never even happened, man. It's nuts. Everyone's outside, everyone's drinking, and I think that's kind of affected me a wee bit because I have been really good for the past 3-4 months because I haven't really been able to drink. I've not been allowed to drink, and the odd time that I've been able to drink in between the bloods, any new listeners are going to be like, who is this guy? I've hammered it. It's went great, and I've been fine. I've cleaned it out of my system, right? But I honestly just feel like going out and getting absolutely rat-arsed. And I canny. I know that sounds like I'm a raging alcoholic, but you know sometimes, man, I'm sorry, but sometimes like a glass of wine just brings you down. And I don't know how many times in life I've went down. I live right next to a canal. And I don't know how many times that I've went down on nights like this. By the way, if you're watching this on YouTube, what you're seeing is what I'm looking at. It's just this beautiful, like, rose tinted, amazing lilac night, and the light's just going to get better. And usually what I would do, if I'm feeling a little bit like this, sometimes I'd go down to the canal with a bottle of wine and just listen to music, and it'd be the best fucking thing you can do for yourself sometimes, man. It really is. And just lose yourself in stuff, right? And it's totally like, I mean, imagine that in a 12 steps like situation. Imagine me going to the Alcoholics Anonymous and saying that. Sometimes, listen, it's actually not that bad. It's a really nice wee thing if you go down to the canal with a bottle of wine and you just forget about your problems. Sometimes it's just nice to do that. Chris, can you get on tea duty, please, pal? Right, there you go. There's a good boy. Yeah, there you go. Sometimes it just does. But I can't drink. I can do that next week. And so I've resorted. So what do I do? I just resort to eating hundreds of chocolate. And it was wee Gemma's birthday at the weekend, so I got her some nice chocolates, and I'm not going to lie, they're all gone. They're all gone, man. I'm a bastard. I tanned one of the big bars of Dairy Milk Cadbury's, and because I can't drink. I'll get another one. It's fine, but it's just bad move, man. You know what I mean? That is like pure. That's like, I don't know, what step is that in the Alcoholics Anonymous 12-step thing? When you start, taking advantage of others, stealing their beautiful possessions so that you can feel better about yourself. Oh. I was thinking as well, man, see therapists, right? Therapists must be the happiest people ever. Therapists must skip and jump out the office after a day of listening to other people's problems. Like, they must just be like, Jesus, I'm really glad I don't deal with that stuff. Imagine just listening to other people's problems all day. And people go, oh, but that would be a bad thing. That would be awfully horrible to hear other people's bad things all day in, day out. What? But the best thing ever, man. You'd feel your life was absolutely brilliant. I was, I think I should have seen this little bit of downtime, as I like to call it. downtime, just chilling out, taking it easy for a couple of days, and putting everything that's on your schedule to the one side, because I'm giving myself this space to reflect on what it is that's making me feel down. And you know, sometimes you think, see, when you're feeling down, right? Sometimes you can kind of get into a wee thing where you're like, you know what? I fucking resent people that just never feel down. I resent people that just pick up their socks and go on with it. Well, I don't, man. I don't, because I don't think those people that do that are truly in tune with themselves and can actually properly sit down and figure themselves out and what it is that ticks them off, what it is that makes them happy, what it is that they seek. I don't think they've got that inner calm. I think they just do things, they just pile other stuff on top of each other so they're busy and have got stuff to do. So I have definitely come to, you know, the conclusion and a point in my life where I can definitely just know that I need some space within myself. But I should have seen it coming, because Saturday, so I was so busy all week. And that's a whole other thing, man. I'll get into that in a minute. That I went for a huge walk on Saturday, right? And I felt great. I felt good. I'd been working in the office from 9 till 5. That's how I felt. That's how busy I was at home. And got out. It was at 8 o'clock in the morning. Went up to a big park next to me. I was reminiscing about a load of stuff. Fucking big sign. And I came across, and I honestly, man, I felt fine. I didn't think anything of it. I had an online show to do in the evening. It was Gemma's birthday on the Sunday, so we were going to have a couple of drinks into it, man. Everything was hunky-dory. And I came across this thing. I saw it from a distance. I saw a tree, and it had loads of wee notes attached to it. Right? And it was like, I had my earphones in, and I was blasting some Brian Eno. If you don't know Brian Eno, go check him out. Kind of Philip Glass vibes. And I came across this tree, right, and it just said wee things like, it was like wee wishes that were on bits of paper from strings from the branches and the leaves and that, right? I just wish we could all hang out together and touch each other and it wasn't so boring inside. I wish that I could see my auntie again and we could walk around the park and hold hands and play in the leaves. I bust out greeting, man. Just bust out greeting. I blame Brian Eno, but I bust out greeting. And the one wee thing that brought me back was I just looked at one and it just said in German, I can't wait to fuck random people again. And that just brought me out, man, and I started laughing. And I was like, right, okay. Wiped one fucking lonely tear away from my eye like an absolute weirdo, by the way. And I'm standing around this tree and I'm like, this feels like, I felt like the only person in the world. I felt like the world had ended. And I felt that this was messages, like they were like ghostly, otherworldly messages that were being portrayed only to me. And I had to catch myself, man. I was like, you're fucking ego, Davis. Right? Even under a wish tree, and you're literally holding in your hands the messages from other people that exist. Even in that moment, you think that you're the only person in the world. Man. Ah, God, and I was like, so, Brian, had to go off. I had to put something else on. I was like, what's the matter with you, Chris? That came out of nowhere. So I should have realised that this was a bit of a sign that something was off kilter, shall we say. I was talking to my pal, John, the other day. We were in the car, and I don't know how much of you know about this, but there's a big theory going around just now about like simulation theory. Everything is a simulation. Why wouldn't it be? Is basically what it's all asking. Are we in a simulation? Something, like the Matrix. But it's starting to pick up a bit of speed, and starting to pick up a bit of weight. And I done a little bit of research on it, and I was talking to me and my pal Jono, and I think the beautiful thing is that, well, I said to him, look, I mean, we don't know anything about the meaning of what this is, why this is, where it's going. We've got a rough idea of where it's been. And it doesn't matter if you're religious or science-based, we still, as of yet, do not know why we exist. There is no meaning. And sometimes, when you think about that, it's really sad to think that we go about our wee daily lives trying to give meaning to something that we have no meaning about. It's very oxymoronic to me sometimes, very paradoxical, right? It confuses me. Makes me all weird and fluffy inside, and not in the good way. So I said to him, I was like, look, I mean, how do you know that when I die, that there's just a big pair of virtual reality goggles that are just taken off me, and someone's handing me like a kind of a half-cooled pint of lager, and I'm in some sort of stag do, and everyone's like, "Way, there he is, and I'm just coming out like that. Gemma, what the fuck? What's the wandering barman? What the fuck happened?" And everyone's like, hurry up, get off the seat, Davis, hurry up, man, Mon, hurry up, get off. Jesus, how was that, man? I'm like, and they're like, man, that was great, you were in there for 2.5 minutes, man. 2.5 minutes, how did it feel? I'm like, you just don't know what's going on. You're just like, yeah. You're just getting pushed towards a bar, towards your pint, towards some nibbles that are on a bar, and you kind of just look round and you see this apparatus, and it's like some sort of virtual reality machine, and it's got kind of touch screen menus, like a McDonald's menu when you look up, and it's just kind of got, if you go back to the year 2020 of the year of the pandemic, you'll get a half price bottle of champagne for your stag party. And then you kind of slowly come together, but like really, really, really kind of, you come to like pretty quickly. And then and then you're just like, that was brilliant. Oh, fucking 2020, imagine that, being back in the pandemic. And there's nothing in this world right now that is making me think that might not happen. I might just be a simulation that is in part of something else, and I'm not aware of it. And what is actually happening is that I'm in some sort of virtual reality video game thing that's a kind of trend where you can choose the year that you want to go back to, and you kind of live that year. You live that moment in that year like it's a lifetime, but it's actually only 2.5 minutes. And I'll tell you two things that makes me think like this a wee bit. I'm not quite off the rails yet. I'm still with you guys. I'm still with you on planet Earth. Chris Davis, I do the Wandering Barman, living in Berlin, from Cumbernauld, I get it. I'm with you. Just suspend your disbelief, because this is the way I kind of go through my life sometimes, right? I'm not big into like realism or optimism or pessimism or cynicism, right? I find these are like anyone that is those things, they're kind of hanging on to those key words that they've come to understand and realize simply because they're within grasp of their own intelligence. They are somewhat palpable. But I have considered myself for quite a while now a bit of a romantic, right? And not that I'm going to hold the door open for you, not that I'm going to pay for your dinner. I like to suspend my disbelief quite often, actually. And what that means is that I'm not surprised by anything that will happen. I sometimes say to people, would you be surprised if the rapture actually happened? Like if a big hand just, came down from the air, from the skies, and just picked all the non-sinners up and left all the sinners left behind? Like, would you be surprised at that? And they're like, aye, man, that's like pure random, that's mental, that's proper random. But I wouldn't be surprised at that, man. People have been talking about that shit for 2,000 years. All I would do is look at that hand as it ascended back up to the sky and just go, well, I guess that was true. But two things that made me and Jono shite our pants a wee bit was the deeper we got into this discussion, we kind of said, look, when you dream, you can feel like a dream lasts hours and hours and hours, and you wake up and everything is so vivid in that dream. So vivid. Sometimes there's even smells in your dream. Sometimes faces are so detailed. Sometimes the sound of water splashing is mimicked so well. Sometimes the voices of someone that is reminiscent echoes, and it's so specific. Yet when you wake up, it all dissipates. It all disappears very quickly. And when someone asks you, you wake up and you go, fuck, jeez, I had a mental dream. And someone says, so what was it? And you can only remember like a quarter of it, a fraction of it. Who's to say that isn't what would happen if you were like just pumped out of this reality or this simulation and put into another? Second of all, Jono said something about like how we create, within this world, within this reality, within this simulation, if you want to call it that, we create artificial intelligence, which is a simulation of a reality that we're already involved in. We are creating simulations already. So the chances that we're in a simulation aren't that low. Aren't that high, aren't that low? And I swear to God, it was in that moment that me and Jono just looked at each other and we just went, I don't want to talk about this anymore. I physically felt weird, man. I felt like the movie Videodrome. I felt like my heat was going to explode and I was going to get transported out of this simulation into God knows where. Maybe this is the best possible version that we want for ourselves. Can you imagine that? If the world that we are in right now is the best possible version that we can create for ourselves, this is the heaven that we've created for ourselves. I mean, if that's the case, I'm going to stick it out, man. I'm happy here. I'm happy here talking to you guys through the radio waves. I'm happy doing that. I mean, I think Black Mirror covered this in an episode, for sure. Anyway, back to Earth. We're still here. I'm still here. I'm Chris Davis, Wandering Barman. Dimming the light on YouTube, Spotify, whatever. I'm in Berlin. I'm from Cumbernauld. I get it. You with me? We're back. We're back. Everything's fine. We're all good. So, I've enjoyed this, man. It's been nice. I think I need to try and get out and do stuff, get out and do more things. I just don't really know if I'm in the headspace to do it. I feel it's all rushed round too quickly. I was sitting on a park bench this morning at about 11 o'clock in the morning, and two friends of mine cycled on by, and they stopped, and we said hello, and I said, what are you up to? And they said, we're going to play disc golf. I don't know what it is either. Apparently you throw discs at trees, and you do it 18 times, and you can get like eagles and pars and bogeys. Something to do with like a mixture of frisbee and golf. I don't know what it is. But I was so in my own head that I should have went with them. I should have just said, hey guys, you've got room for one more. That sounds fun. I'd have no idea what it is. I've never heard of it. You're on your bikes. I've got my bike. I'm not doing anything with my day. Let's go, man. Let's go play some disc golf. But I never. I just sat there in the sun and just like let them do their thing. And I need to maybe take on a wee bit more of like just get up and do stuff. You know what I mean? Just get up and do stuff. Just take opportunity. Seize some things. But maybe that's something to do with the weird anxiety that's come with not hanging about with people. Maybe they would have been like that. Why the fuck is this guy coming along with his man? Who's this? He's never played disc golf. And I've got to teach this guy how to play disc golf. Nah, you don't need to teach me anything, mate. I'll just come along for the banter. Maybe I can throw a wee disc. Maybe not. So, yeah. I think that's me, man. I think that's all I've really got. Stay off social media. Because that shit is deadly. Oh, and by the way, if anyone's listening to this, and I mean, unfortunately, I've chosen a career where I have to do this social media thing, and it is busting my balls. It's absolutely busting my balls. There's not words that I have in my vocabulary that can describe the detest and hatred, putrid, by the way, I can't stand it. I struggle to describe how much I deplore it. But riddle me this. Isn't there like an army of 20-year-olds that have got like social media marketing degrees? Or HNDs, like college diplomas, that are looking for work, man? Like, isn't there like an absolute plethora? Isn't there, I mean, hundreds of millions of 20-year-olds like walking the face of this earth that are like that? Oh man, I'll take on your social media for you, no problem, man. What do you want? Hashtagging and fucking whatever it is. Atting. I'll at people. I'm getting by with it slowly, man, but it just takes up too much time. If you know anyone, get them involved. Send them my way. I will pay them. I will genuinely pay them to help me with this stuff. Okay, guys, the rant's over. I'm sorry. I don't want to end on a rant. I want to end on something nice. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to do what I do every time I feel down. I'm going to go make a goddamn soup. And I can recommend it to anyone that's feeling down, anyone that's feeling weird. I know we never really got down to why I'm feeling weird, but that's not really what it's all about, okay? It's just about talking it out, and it's just about having company. And then if the truth be told, I've no idea why I'm feeling weird. I just know that I don't feel good, and I'm sure that I'm going to be out of it by tomorrow because I've got a show on Saturday. Oh, tune into that, by the way, while I'm here. I'm gonna go make a soup. I've got a celery and a carrot in the fridge, and I've got a big cauliflower. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to boil that up, and I'm going to blitz it, and I'm going to make myself a big prison soup. Usually I'm a rustic, keep things wholesome guy. Boil potatoes up, boil the lentils up, boil up the carrots and the leek, and it's all kind of chewy. You can actually bite it, but I don't think I deserve something to bite on. I think I deserve mush. So I'm going to make myself a big mushy soup. In the meantime, I'm going to play out McGee's song because it's lovely, and that's what I've been listening to for most of the day. Thanks for listening, everyone, and I'll catch you another time. Good night.
The past is gone, the thinking's done. It's one step forward and 10 back with your people. Strange shapes and phone calls. man that's deep, man that's sarcastic, man that's pretentious. No need to be drastic, just get a fucking grip. How long's this lasted? All the weird beats and alcohol,